Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I have a special one, Conan Classic number 10, reprinting Conan the Barbarian number 10, which was originally published in 1971. This reprint series and this particular issue was published in 1995. And this has this special designation as being the first Conan story I ever read as a kid. I had originally gotten it at a bookstore in this form, these little Marvel mini novels that they were producing from 1978. Begged my parents to get it for me, and they did. And you can see the cleverly cut up pages, panels into the smaller format here. Pretty cool. And so we're going to dive into this one, Conan Classic number 10, Beware the Wrath of the Bull God. And we're going to get full-on Barry Smith, Sal Buscema artwork in this one. But let's take a look at our title and credits in detail. Conan the Barbarian, Beware the Wrath of Anu. Stanley editor, Roy Thomas writer, Barry Smith artist, Sal Buscema inker, Sam Rosen letterer, based on the hero created by Robert E. Howard. The sun and the gate bars go down together in the great Corinthian city-state, but on occasion a last-minute wayfarer or two can cause a hitch in the schedule. Well, speak up, man. Why should we let you enter the city? I have told you I'm a trapper, a trader of these animal furs, and the girl is with me. If you're a trapper, I'm the Red Priest's nephew, another pair of thieves more likely. So Conan and Jenna here continue to get some guff from these guards who are not about to let them in. And suddenly this conflict is interrupted by another conflict, a chase. You there, guards! Halt what you're doing and come with me. Captain Aaron, but sir, we're about to turn these two undesirables out of the city. You mean you are about to try, Conan says. You see his insolence, sir? He claims to be a fur trader, but blast you, scum. Would you like to pound a bead on the Zamoran border? I'm hot on the trail of the boldest thief in the city, and you bother me with, Captain, I think I hear them coming. Do you hear, scum? Now move, you barbarian. Peddle your furs or whatever, but keep out of our way. Look, there they be. And we can see this great panel with our two thieves, Bergen and Igon, on the nearby rooftop there. They've seen us, but how did they know we would be here? What does that matter now, boy? Run back the way we came. But drop that jewel chest we spent the day stealing, and I'll toss you to those armored wolves myself. They're confused, Captain. The big one is paused, and he's silhouetted against the moon. I've got a clear shot at his thieving heart. And I've got a clear shot, dog, at your craven jackal's tail. No man strikes one of the Red Priest's own archers and lives. Help me, all you. He fights like 10 civilized men. Ho, little one. There's rare good sport for you, for the watching down there. The city's finest have turned on the savage who tried to help us. Then let him help us by his death. Come on, this is our chance to escape. Hold him still, fools. This is one task I myself will perform with relish. Oh, gods in the heavens! Stop them! Stop them! I'm no brittle brass god, wench, but will this brick help? Great, tiny, long panel here of Bergen dropping that brick down on, presumably Captain Aaron's head there. Arr, he cries out in pain, allowing Conan a moment to break free. Nor does the mighty Thewed Sumerian need much encouragement to add to the chaos. Quickly, Conan, while you're free, let's flee this city. No, Jenna. We've starred on the road of kings long enough. They'll carry me out of the city on a shield or not at all. I like your attitude, my friend. Come with us. But the girl, tell her to meet us behind the temple of Anu. Now hurry, or stay here and fend for yourself. She heard you. She goes. And so shall we. Not so fast, you two. I'm the one who has to carry the booty. Down here, quickly. You scale walls like a monkey, barbarian. In my homeland, you scale them swiftly, or you never live to reach the top. This way, The guardsmen will not dare follow us once we've climbed these steps. Gorgeous color and architecture here from Smith and Salabusema on this Temple of Anu in Corinthia, the Corinthian city-state. And as they're scaling the steps, "Look, Captain, they're before the Temple of Anu, but not yet inside its scum. I want those archers up here at once." "Which one shall I aim for first, sir? Am I surrounded by jesters? The one with the money, fool! Now fire!" Arrgh! Igon is hit with an arrow here in the leg. "Blast you, did you have to drop the chest? Well, there's no helping it now. Stop your whimpering, I've got you." Conan grabs him like a sack of potatoes here, pretty great. "Now have you found an unlatched portal, or do we stand here while those archers perfect their craft? In here, without delay." "That's better, but hold still, lad. This will hurt you much worse than me." "Shall we pursue them, Captain?" "Would that we could, but that temple is sacred to Anu, and thus to the Red Priest. We dare not even retrieve the coins from the steps. But that is not what concerns me now. I wanted that master thief's skin. Instead, he's added another robber to his ranks. Well, I'll repay this night, and soon. Then, there will be 3 heads mounted on spears at the city gate." "Easy, Igon. We are safe now. In Samaria, we'd throw such a whimperer to the wolves if they'd have him." "Samaria? I once knew a youth from... Holy Mitra, can it be? Don't you know me, lad? Should I? What kind of game? Yes, by Crom. Didn't know you in the dark. You're the Gunderman. Aye, but I thought you died at Lanjao." "I thought the same of you." So they're referring back to issue 8, so he knows Bergen from the past. "I hope your share of the looting lasted longer than mine. Long enough for me to return here and find my girl already wed. So I stayed drunk for a month, and that finished the gold. But you, barbarian, what happened to... Look!" So we have our first meeting with the priest of Anu. "Gently, my child. There is no cause for fear. I am but your humble servant, a priest of Anu, whom the Gunderman knows well." "And what have you brought me this night, my friend?" "Nothing, priest. We dropped it all, making our escape." "I see. All of you step this way, please." "Can you walk alone, Igon?" "Yes, but if he calls me child again." "This is our Holy of Holies, and this our silver spiral, which leads upward to the very stars themselves." "Gunderman, you are a fool to risk your life for casts of gold. Loot this place instead, and die in a rich man's bed." I'm not sure. Is our colorist noted here? So I don't know if Barry Smith or Marie Severin or someone else colored this issue, but the colors are gorgeous, especially in this room with the celestial pillar here, what he calls the silver spiral. Just really trippy, very 70s. And of course, the priest takes umbrage to such a threat. "I trust, my son, that is one of your barbarian jests. For if it is not, you have much to learn, and happy I shall be to teach you." Then, as the priest lays hands upon the gleaming spiral, he mutters a spell in some arcane tongue. Conan starts, for those graven gargoyles seem to be writhing as if in invocation, until before 3 pairs of widened eyes, "Ishtar, preserve us! 'Tis the bull of Anu! Aye, the avenger whom the god Anu sends to right wrongs done him. Well, savage, would you still risk Anu's wrath by looting his temple? Would you?" "I never meant to rob a house of the gods, priest. It was, as you said, a jest. But, Holy One, look above you, eh? The bull thing is no longer a wispy wraith, but nearly as solid as we." So he quickly banishes it with an incantation and says, "I must attend to my vespers. I'll show you to the back gate. You'll come to call again, I hope. My door is always open." "Yes, as long as we bring stolen gold." "Jenna, then you found this back door after all?" "Yes, though I don't know why I bothered." "Ah, Cimmerian, you've been holding out on me. What lovely vision is this?" "Her name is Jenna. She's with me, I'm sure. Jenna, this is Igon, to whom I've been teaching the noble art of thievery. Igon, this is Jenna. So we have a bit of a spark here, very aptly shown by our art team between those two. Now come, this temple borders a maze where we'll not be harassed. That fat priest, then he acts as a fence for stolen goods, the best in the city. I consider it an omen that we two met again this way. What say we make a team of it, you and I? Say, what is your name, friend? Mine is Bergen. I am Conan, a Sumerian, as you know, and I accept your offer. So those two go off to plan, and Igon and Jenna go off to do their own thing. The next few nights are long and dark and eventful. One's for Bergen and his newfound partner in plunder, as a disproportionate share of the city's wealth finds its way into the murky maze, always just before a grim-faced Captain Aaron arrives upon the scene. Ha! Our success makes me ambitious for us both, Conan. What say we pull off a real theft tomorrow night, one that will make the whole city sit up and take notice? You name the place, I'll help you rob it. Glad to hear you say that, lad, since our next victim will be the Red Priest himself. Another great shot of this Corinthian architecture here in this cool corner panel. I love the arrangement of panels in this book too. It's very clever, trippy, and non-standard, for lack of a better phrasing. Just a cool bit of storytelling from these two. And I assume a full script from Roy Thomas. Here we have another small, one of those small but elongated panels in the corner as they creep into this palace. Empty, as you predicted. Who is this man they call the Red Priest? Nabonidus, by name, the real ruler of the city, despite the puppet king who sits the throne. There he is, in marble at least. A fierce-looking devil, but I'll bet his blood is red. Hopefully, you'll never find out, for this is merely his official residence, not his real one. By Mitra, there's a king's ransom surrounded by golden skulls. The skulls of other less skillful thieves, no doubt. Bah, this whole place stinks of sorcery. I'll take this dagger belt, nothing else. But that's not worth anything. No, but my life is. A well-timed exit, as it turns out, for later that self-same night. Guardsmen, to me! So, Captain Aaron, you have charge of the city's guards, yet cannot keep the court of the Red Priest safe from thievery. Is that the way of it? Nabonidus, sire, they who robbed you were doubtless the two boldest rogues in the city. They... Silence, knave! You dare make excuses to Nabonidus? I want those thieves captured and hanged before another night has passed, or else you shall take their place upon the gallows. Do I make myself clear? Perfectly, sire. Then be off with you, ere I turn you into the bewhiskered gutter rat you so resemble. Yes, Holy One. And so here we see a fateful deal being made. Thus ere dawn. But my good man, I don't dare do what you ask. The Red Priest does not ask, he demands. You expect those two dogs here at any moment, do you not? There is that possibility, but then you'll help us set a trap for them right now. For if they're not caught, it's zick for both of us. But the risk. If the maze dwellers ever learn I am both fence and informer, besides, the sacred rule of the temple sanctuary is one which great Anu will surely overlook in exchange for this little donation, for new incense burners, perhaps. Aye, thank you, Captain. Go with Anu. And as silver streaks of morning stab the sky. Slow down, lad. You've done no stealing this night. But I'm helping you carry several days' loot, am I not? Still, there is too much silence in this place. How can there be too much silence in a temple? You're a jittery one, lad. I don't... Bergen, flee! There is treachery here and death! Great shot of the prescient Conan shouting that warning. Awesome. In his barbaric regalia there with the cool necklace and belt. But the barbarian's instincts have served him too late. Guardsmen, now we have them. Do you have us, you armored dogs? Do you? Do you? That one fights like a tiger, But this one, this one, pig, is still a match for the likes of you, Bergen says. He kicks that guardsman in the face. Might be Captain Aaron there. Don't stop fighting, Bergen. As soon as my blade is free, you get caught like me, like a rat in a trap. Flee, you fool. There's nothing you can do for me now. Flee! For an eternal, agonizing instant, young Conan weighs his chances in the balance of his mind, and then, yes, I go. But I'll be back for you, man. I swear it by bones of Crom. The day dawns dark and dismal, as the Cimmerian returns to the stench-filled maze tavern called the Rat's Den, where in due course. Back from your night's work, Conan? But what's wrong? Where's the great Bergen? Taken in ambush by the city guard. Oh, that's awful. He brought me such pretty things. I'll bring you prettier, ha! And he was going to teach us all thieving. Well, now he can try stealing his way out of jail. Shut up. Why? It'll be a great laugh when he tries to pick the hangman's pocket. I said, shut up! Conan slaps him to the ground. How dare you strike him? He's delicate, sensitive, not like you. If you're so strong, why don't you go rescue Bergen? I shall, but they always wait 3 days before executing thieves. During that time, I must think, plan. Then, feeling more alone than he has felt since he left the hills of Samaria, Conan wanders into the crooked, rain-swept streets. Conan! Conan! Little Gorda, I sent you to spy on the gates of the palace prison. Why have you returned unless you have news? I do, Conan. They're not waiting 3 days like always. They're hanging Bergen right now. Crom's devils! Gone now, all the thoughts of plans, elaborate schemes of daring do. Nothing now but the unfamiliar taste of fear, a bitter darkness in the mouth. Nothing save the knowledge that he has failed. It's great, too, that he threw a cloak on to perhaps hide his identity or cover him from the rain as he arrives on the scene of the execution of his friend. Hear ye, hear ye. For many crimes against sovereign and city, you are hereby sentenced. And the Red Priest, don't forget about him, Bergen interrupts. You are hereby sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead, and may Anu take pity on your soul. Tremendous. No dialogue, no captions in these panels as Bergen is hung and Conan is powerless to do anything. And his rage here is very apparent in these awesome panels. And it continues here without dialogue or caption, but the art communicates everything that Conan sees in what he needs to see here to figure out what happened, as he sees the priest of Anu and meeting with a member of the guard, likely Captain Aaron, there in that window. And he knows. Nightfall, and no soldiers ring the proud temple of Anu, for who would suspect that thieves would do aught but tremble in the maze this night? Who would think to look for a wolf-like shadow beneath so star-splashed a sky? You, what are you doing here? Don't you know this temple is no longer safe for you? Yes, I know that. And I know why it is not. I know not what you mean. Don't you, dog? Then why did you wax so friendly this day with one who last night violated the rule of sanctuary? I have no time for this. If you will pardon me, my son, I must hold you lowest of misborn curs. It was not the guard alone that caused my comrade's death. It was your doing. Yours! Puts him right up against the wall in this awesome panel here. Flabby fingers stab fitfully backward. Then, you odious heathen, you dare to lay hands on me? Pursue me and you'll pay for your perfidy. Prayers have ever been a stranger to this full-fed priest, but he mouths them now, as he stumbles clumsily through labyrinthine corridors. Then prayers give way to an ominous incantation, a brief, obscene ritual murmured twice in recent days, and this time, most desperately, for hard upon his heels comes glint-edged death. Yet suddenly, fleetingly, an insane cackling fills the silvery chamber. You followed me to your doom. Look now upon the bull of heaven, conjured up to protect Anu's faithful servant from harm. Tremble, barbarian. Why don't you tremble? You must think all men are fools. Don't you think I watched you before fingering that trinket about your fat neck? I think you have no more power over that devil spawn than I do when you're not wearing this. My amulet. During our struggles, you took my amulet. But that is my shield, my protection. If I do not wear it, the bull of Anu will solidify. Now the temple echoes with a roar that seems to come from another universe. As the howling beast thing tenses, skyborn thews, and the glowing jewel pillar shatters like a gaudy glass bauble. And amid a darkness deep as death, the bull of heaven once more stalks the earth. Halt, priest. Where are you off to? Your mumbled spell brought that fiend from the sky. Now say the words that will send him back again. I cannot. The quavering priest has more to say, but words are lost amid the thundering bellow, the shuddering sweep of colossal talons. A great hammering fist that shatters stone like chaff. Then, even as echoes die, mid smoke and rubble, ha! Now hear my words, you stupid savage. Once the bull of Anu has assumed fleshy form, he cannot return to the heavens till he has tasted one human death, and this night of nights it shall be yours. Here's that piece again repeated on the back of the little novel I got as an 8-year-old kid. Pretty awesome. Fear racks Conan's frame as that gaping maw comes closer, closer. Yet there was something the fat priest said, something about fleshy form. And that which is flesh can be pierced. The sky thing's roar is eerily different now as the Cimmerian drops heavily to earth. There is pain mingled with that grim, unearthly rage, and not merely that pain inflicted by a hard thrusting sword, barbarian sinews, but the awesome agony of one whose birthplace was a star, one who has been untimely ripped from out the firmament, to which he can only return adrift on a river of blood. Roy Thomas crushing it on the script here. Stop him, he's turning this way. My blade is a bee sting to him, and that is all. He craves a human life, nothing less. Well, if have one he must, it won't be mine. Eyes aflame, the god bull glares down at the squirming, now fearful manling who has held him prisoner for so many years, and begins to exact its payment. For a moment, as he digs his way through the rubble which keeps him from the city streets, Conan feels a surge of pity for the frail, overfed priest. Then he recalls the fate of Bergen, and he keeps on digging. But 'tis only his former tormentor, which seems to concern the bellowing behemoth now. As rogue is lifted, screaming overhead, then dropped like a sack of old discarded bones. Then, as the dying priest writhes fitfully, painfully, amongst fallen stone and mortar, the monster turns toward Conan. For one spine-shivering moment, demon and barbarian gaze at each other. The hot breath of doom bathes Conan's tensed form. Then his eyes widen, those that have beheld 1,000 horrors, yet none more frightful than this. For the nameless avenger of Anu has begun to grow until he encompasses the chamber, the very temple, until he passes through it wraith-like into the outside world. Aye, until his great arms claw heavenward, and as he utters one final soul-shattering roar, then is gone as if he never were. For the sky god Anu has claimed his own once more. And new stars shall fill a corner of the firmament from this night on. Stars where there had been black void for eons unguessed. As mercy, and Conan does grant him that final mercy. Great series of panels here, incredible storytelling, and I love it that this last panel in this 4 or 5 panel sequence is red as blood. A quick death priest is mercy of a sort. Still one thing is yet to do. Thieves' End, some call it, others simply the gallows square. The bodies of executed men have been known to disappear, and so the square is guarded on one such evening as this. Tonight, by the very one who sprung the trap this morning. His last such act as it happens. I owe you a debt, Bergen. One best paid with blade, with flint, and with fire. So Conan cuts Bergen free and sets the gallows aflame. Finally, an instant of resistance at the city gate, a resistance most severely, most savagely met. Yet no river of blood can wash away the ache, the emptiness which hovers at Conan's shoulder. And no dungeon which looms in Conan's unglimpsed future can ever reave his barbarian's heart, like the death of a friend betrayed. Great final panel on this story. Incredible story. Conan Classic number 10, reprinting Conan the Barbarian number 10. Unfortunately, Conan Classic number 11 does not reprint Conan the Barbarian number 11, which is the the follow-up story to this tale. Because all Marvel comics were briefly double-sized during this particular month, this issue, they skipped it rather than do a double-sized reprint, they just skipped it and went on to issue 12, which is extremely annoying, but such are the vagaries of reprint series. But I have that story here, which I've gone over in my uncovered bespoke graphic novel collection because I have a coverless version of it there. And of course I have it in here as well. So just a great, tremendous story. What a great first story to read as a kid. And look how they reproduced this full page, that last panel in our story, full page here. Really cool and impactful. And the color is slightly different. You can see here, color there, and then the color in this one is slightly, I think, richer by comparison. So, great stuff. Glad you were able to come and read it with me. And I'll definitely do a full read of this at some point. It's going to be a long video if I do, even skipping certain pages and passages of dialogue. This is a big one. Really my favorite Conan story of all time. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.